guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling on, let me fix this camera really fast, Unlimited, as we are here on the 3rd of December, 2021, as this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. A handful of news videos brought to you in one easy-to-watch video. We've got a bunch of news for you. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, technically 8 stories on the dock for you. We're going to talk about Elias and what's going on with him. Becky Lynch hitting a cool milestone. The NXT roster praising Beth Phoenix. Impact Hard to Kill, ratings, and so much more. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PW Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Remember, you take your Amazon Prime account, you take your Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you've got a Prime gaming account. It's that easy. You get free games like, what's the new one they're giving out this month? Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, and so many other cool games. But you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to with that. And then that means, boom, you can support us right here, PW Unlimited on Twitch, for free. But on the flip side, if you're watching on YouTube, you can help us out with a super chat or a super sticker donation. All super chats do get read live on the air. Remember, with the Wrestling Wrap-Up, no texting. So the only way to get your questions made, to make sure your questions get read for the Wrestling Wrap-Up, is to donate a super chat or a super sticker, just like Jack Dawson. I really do appreciate that. Also, remember, you can hit that join button down below. And in doing so, you get early access to news, early access to different podcast things we do, early access to non-news videos, and starting next Monday, the Wrestling Wrap-Up exclusive post show. The Wrestling Wrap-Up exclusive post show will be just random. It's going to be very random, but only for Patreon subscribers or channel members here on YouTube. Remember, if you go over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited, you will get extra content over there after the Wrestling Wrap-Up every Monday and Friday, and maybe some other stuff as well. But with that, we've got a lot to get into today. It's Friday, December 3rd. Tonight's Rampage, tonight's Smackdown, and speaking of Rampage and Smackdown, which we'll talk about at the end of the show for tonight, we'll talk about the last week in wrestling as far as ratings do go. As far as ratings do go within professional wrestling, last week's Monday Night Raw drew 1,678,000 viewers. Now, I forgot to do the math here. Let's pull up a calculator and do some on-the-fly math. 1, 6, 7, 8. The week prior did 1,698,000 viewers. So Raw was almost the same number, but you could say slightly down this week. It was down by 2%. Raw was down by 2%. Also, in the demographics, they were ranked 5th this week. Last week, they were ranked 6th. But even though they were one up higher, competition kind of things, Raw did a 0.45 this week in the demo, where last week, okay, I don't know what's going on in the chat. Anyways, last week they did a 0.49. As far as this week's NXT did 637,000 subscribers. That is up from last week's show. They did 625,000 subscribers. 625 divided by 637. They were up 2% this week. So NXT was up 2% this week. But here is the one that's not looking good. And that is AEW Dynamite. So last week's AEW Dynamite was the Dynamite before Thanksgiving. And Tony Khan praised the show for doing better than any other Dynamite the night before Thanksgiving. Every year since they've started, this is the 3rd year that they've been airing the night before Thanksgiving, and is steadily grown. but they're never going to be where a normal Dynamite is, so we thought. Normally, let me pull something up here. Normally, Dynamite does roughly, hold on. I'll pull up my list of ratings here for Dynamite. So over the last 2 months, AEW Dynamite has done about, let's see, they're averaging, that's 676. So they're averaging between, I want to say, and you can't really, this is a tough one because they're averaging right between 9 and a million, 900,000 to a million. Yet the episode the night before Thanksgiving did 898,000 viewers. So you would think, okay, night before Thanksgiving, they've got to be up the next week. No, they were not. They were actually down this week. Yes, AEW Dynamite was actually down this week from a holiday show, basically. A show that is always expected to be down, which is not good. They were down by roughly 5%. They did 37,000 less viewers roughly than last week. When you would think, okay, last week is a week where we're expecting less viewers. We don't think a lot of people are going to be watching because maybe a lot of people are traveling, going to a family's house or a friend's house to make sure they're there for Thanksgiving if they're traveling out of town or something. You know, so it's a big travel day, the day before Thanksgiving or the days before Thanksgiving. So you would expect Dynamite to be down. Just say, okay, they were down. Don't worry about that rating. No one's worried. But they should be a little worried now. They should be a little worried now. Also, when we look at last week's Dynamite, the one before Thanksgiving, the CM Punk MJF segment apparently did well over like 1.1 million viewers. And then the rest of the show was, and then the average of the show was 898. So that tells me that after the CM Punk and MJF stuff was over, a lot, and I mean a lot of people dropped off. For them to go from like 1.1 million viewers in that first segment down to 898, and that's the average, means that they had to be in the low 800s, high 7s for a good portion of this show. So that's not good. And then this week, the show coming in, doing even lower ratings, which I think this is the lowest rated show on a Wednesday. They've had some Saturday shows that didn't do too well, but I think this is the lowest rated show on a Wednesday since, I can tell you right now. But lowest rated show on a Wednesday since May 19th. Lowest rated show on a Wednesday. Okay, I take that back. On a Wednesday that wasn't preempted to later, because they've had a couple that aired late on Wednesdays that didn't really do too good. Like, I think it was May 20. Nope, that was a Friday. And then there were also those two Bad Friday shows for Rampage or Dynamite as well. So, not a good ratings week for AEW. Like this was a good number back when they were going up against NXT. This was a really good number when they were going up against NXT, but now they're not going up against NXT anymore. And to have that big of a drop off on last week's show, they go from 1.1 million in the open to boom, low, down to 898 in your average. And then this week, be even lower, 861. The 18 to 49 demo was the same both weeks, though. A 0.31, a 0.31. It was the same both weeks. So, not good. Not good. Hopefully they can rebound next week. Next week, they do have the Dynamite Dozen thing. And, hold on. Good question there. Melvin says, good AEW ratings have been down because MTV's a challenge. I can look that up. Let's see what the challenge did this week. And then we'll compare it to last week. MTV challenge, no. Challenge 683. The challenge did less viewers than AEW. And I also think that's down for the challenge. Because I've seen the challenge do better before. 683. Let's go previous Wednesday. Previous Wednesday, the challenge did. Let's see. We can look that up really fast. The previous week, the challenge did. Nope, wrong one. Let's go Wednesday. What's the date on that one? Wednesday the 24th. Wednesday the 24th would have been the challenge. Yeah, the challenge was down. Challenge did over 700,000 last week. So, and last week they had competition from some big NBA games as well. They had Philadelphia versus Golden State, and they had Brooklyn versus Boston. That the Golden State Warriors game did 2,100,000, and the Brooklyn Boston game did 1.4 million. So, and those are both going right up against. Well, no, the Golden State game came on right after Dynamite, so it didn't go up against that. But they did go up against the Brooklyn Boston game. They had lesser competition this week. I think they had a college game or something. They had a college basketball game that did 1.1. So they had lesser competition this week and still did lower on a night that was expected to be up from last week, which is not good to see. But what was good to see, last week's Smackdown rating. So we didn't get that rating till about Monday, Tuesday this week because of the holidays and stuff. The ratings were delayed. So last week's Smackdown did 2.149 million viewers. 2.149 million viewers. The week prior, it did 2,064,000. It was actually up. Smackdown was up last week. But speaking of Friday last week, it wasn't, and that was Rampage. Rampage was down. Rampage did the lowest number ever in the history of the show. So 2 weeks ago, Rampage did 556,000 viewers. Last week, they did 431,000 viewers. And I've said it before. What is enticing people to watch this show, especially when it's a pre-taped 1 hour show? You go on some website, Fightful or F4W or Wrestling Inc., and you get the spoilers. And you go, okay, cool. So-and-so beat so-and-so. I don't need to watch that. They're not doing much with Rampage that's enticing people. I'm not even watching almost every week. They're not doing much with Rampage that's enticing people to watch every week. And ratings just keep slipping and slipping and slipping. Again, like I said, last week's show was the lowest rated show in Rampage history since it started. I want to say, when did it start? September. When did Rampage start? Let me know. Rampage started August 13th, I want to say it was. So, not good at all. We'll see where tonight's show goes. We'll see where Smackdown is. We'll see where Rampage is. Hopefully Rampage doesn't get any lower than 431. Because they're doing, and I get it, it's a Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time, not a good time slot. But they're doing worse than NXT 2.0. Granted, NXT 2.0 isn't a more favorable time slot, but still. Melvin says, could maybe AEW Rampage last at least 90 minutes more instead of 1 hour? I don't think that makes a difference, especially when it's a pre-taped show. I don't think that makes a difference at all, moving it from an hour to 90 minutes. I just don't. But the plan for the wrestling wrap-up is on Mondays. We will give you the ratings and talk about that for SmackDown and Rampage. And then Fridays, we'll do the rest of the week, Monday Night Raw, NXT 2.0, and AEW Dynamite. Just so you guys know, that's what we'll be starting off each show on Mondays and Fridays. So, going into our next story, we've got a little tidbit about somebody that I've been getting questions about, and that is one Elias. So, I'm getting some questions on where's Elias been? We saw the videos of him killing himself, saying Elias is dead, Elias is no more. But where has he been? And we do have a tweet from WrestleVotes that's kind of more humorous than anything regarding what's going on with Elias, as WrestleVotes tweeted out the following. Interesting note on Elias. Source states that they had no end plan for graveyard vignettes. Just shot them to kill off the music gimmick. His initial rebranding weeks back looked too similar to Randy Savage with colorful trunks and beard, so Vince and company didn't like it. Back to square one. Yeah. They had Elias looking like Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah, dig it. Hopefully he wasn't going to be a carbon copy. Excuse me. Or a Macho Man ripoff of any sorts, but they have no plans for Elias at all. None. But I do know, and I've been told this for a while now, Vince really likes Elias. Kind of like on the same level that he likes The Miz, because whenever Elias has pitched something, they say, Elias, we need you to do this tonight. He never says no. He's always like, you got it. What do you need me to do? Okay, we're good. I'll do it. I got it. I'll make the best of it. Just like The Miz. Miz, they can give him the worst kind of stuff, and he'll try to make the best of it. He'll just be like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll go with that. And so Vince, like I said, really likes Elias for his, actually, it was really told to me as Vince likes Elias's go get him attitude, is what was told to me like a year and a half ago. When he really started the Walk with Elias stuff, like a year and a half ago. No, it was a little more than a year and a half ago. It was like late 2019, I think it was, when he started the like Walk with Elias stuff. And I was like, Vince, I was told Vince really likes Elias because he's never like pushes back on anything, never is like, I don't know about that, and always gives 100%. Vince likes his go get him attitude. And that's the same with Miz. You can give Miz the crappiest story, and he's going to go out there and try to make the best of it. You can tell him to do the stupidest stuff like squirting people with water. He's going to go and try to make the best of it. So I don't know what's going on with Elias, what the plan is for him, but apparently whatever plan they had for him a couple of weeks ago, or to quote WrestleVotes, weeks back, they didn't like it because it was too similar to one Randy Savage. He says, quote, his initial rebranding weeks back looked too similar to Randy Savage with colorful trunks and a beard. Again, I don't know what the hell is going on with Elias. I always thought he was entertaining, but then they brought in Rick Boogs, who was a way better guitar player. So they gave him the music gimmick and said, no, we can't have two guitar player music guys that have the same build and long hair, so we got to change one of them. Who's the better guitar player? Well, that's Boogs, so Boogs keeps the guitar. As we move forward, got some news yesterday on one Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix tweeted out yesterday, and I'm going to read it here, that she is leaving the commentary table for NXT. She's tweeted, and I quote, ahead of War Games, I wanted to share that this Sunday will be my final night in NXT. While I remain a part of WWE, I have made the decision to step away from the weekly broadcast booth to spend more time with my family. This was not an easy decision, as I loved my 3+ years and 135 episodes with NXT, and am incredibly proud of the brand. I will forever be grateful to Vic Joseph, Wade Barrett, Nigel McGuinness, Tom Phillips, Mauro Ranallo, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Michael Cole, and my entire NXT family, both in and out of the ring, for the amazing opportunity. NXT will always be part of me, and Auntie Betty will always be part of NXT. Leave the porch light on for me. A lot of people in NXT and so forth did respond to Beth Phoenix and this tweet. One, Wade Barrett, her colleague on commentary, stated the following. What an amazing friend and colleague Beth Phoenix is. It's been a pleasure doing battle with you every week on NXT. You are an inspiration to us all and will always be welcome back at the desk. Keep kicking ass like only you can, Betty. Actually says Betty P. I don't know what the P's for. Oh, Phoenix. Duh. I'm dumb. Betty P. We also had Vic Joseph or other color commentary colleagues state, "You have been the glue that has held our team together, Beth Phoenix. Let's go out with a bang this Sunday at War Games." Now, Michaels tweeted, "We are NXT. Thank you, Beth." Even the former Top Dollar tweeted out saying that she's a queen. Candice LeRae sent some hearts. Nikki Ash sent some hearts. Dakota Kai with some hearts. Julius Creed of the Creed brothers stated, "You're the best, Beth. Wish we got more time together. I'm sure you're going to be the best at whatever next too." And a bunch of others as well sent out some stuff. Renee Paquette also said, "Beth is the best. She absolutely crushed her role on the desk with WWE NXT. Loved watching her grow and crush at this position. It's not easy talk. It's no easy task, but she did it with ease." I thought, we've seen females do commentary in WWE. We've seen Renee Paquette. We've seen Lita do it. We've seen now Beth Phoenix. I think Beth was the best of the bunch. Of all the females that WWE has put on commentary, I think Beth was the best of the bunch. So I don't know how much we're going to see Beth going forward. Again, she said this isn't the end. She's just stepping away from the weekly, there's the thing, weekly NXT grind because she wants to spend more time home with her family. And when I posted this video yesterday with this news, got a lot of retards. I take that back, wrong word. Dumb people in the comments saying, it's just a storyline. She's only doing this so she could show up on Monday Night Raw and be with Edge against Miz Maurice. No. She doesn't want to be on the road every week anymore. She wants to be home with her girls. It's not a storyline where she's got to pull out of doing NXT commentary because then she can't be on the road with Monday Night Raw with Edge and doing the Miz Maurice stuff. That's not at all. This is not a storyline, but I was given the tidbit last night that this may not be the last person that wants out of NXT. So last week, Scott Garland, the former Scotty Too Hottie, who's been a coach and a trainer for NXT, say, "I'm done. When I said I'm not having fun, I'm going to leave." And that's what happened. He said, "Not having fun anymore. He's just doing it to get a paycheck." Well, Beth is now leaving NXT, and I'm hearing a lot of other people that were around Golden Black brand are not having as much fun in 2.0. And that Beth Phoenix may not be the last one to leave. Not the first, and she may not be the last one to say, "I don't want to be here anymore." I don't know who could be next. Whether that's some wrestlers that their contracts are coming up, like Johnny Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly, or it's somebody else working backstage or in front of the camera or something. I don't know. But I was told last night, there's a lot of people not happy going to work anymore at NXT. It's not the same brand. It's not the same environment. It's not the same atmosphere. And some people don't want to be there anymore. And more are expected to be leaving. So that's not good. That after they changed it to NXT 2.0, people aren't having as much fun. People aren't liking their job as much as they did before. And we saw it with Scotty Too Hottie leaving, and now Beth Phoenix leaving the weekly grind of NXT. But as we move forward, WWE has postponed some events into early 2022 in Canada. So if you guys live in Canada and didn't see this news, I thought I would bring it to you just to let you guys know that some of these events are being canceled, whether you already had tickets and just didn't get the email on the cancellation, or you were thinking about getting tickets, hadn't got them yet, and well, now you got to wait till they're postponed of the postponed date, which we got for you right here. Let me pull those up right here. WWE, and this comes from John Pollock of Post Wrestling. WWE released to them the following statement, announcing several changes to their early 2022 live event schedule in Canada, stating, and I quote, "The WWE Friday Night Smackdown live event scheduled for January 21st, 2022 at Canada Life Center in Winnipeg has been rescheduled to Friday, September 30th. The WWE Super Show live event scheduled for January 22nd, 2022 at the Brandt Center in Regina, and maybe I said that wrong, Regina, has been rescheduled to Saturday, October 1st. The WWE Super Show live event scheduled for January 23rd, 2022 at the SaskTel Center in Saskatoon has been rescheduled and will now be a WWE live event on Sunday, October 2nd. There's no longer a Super Show with both Raw and SmackDown. It's just a live event with one of the brands. And finally, the WWE Monday Night Raw live event scheduled for January 24th, 2022 at the Rogers Place in Edmonton has been rescheduled to Monday, September 26th. Tickets are currently on sale through Ticketmaster.ca, and all originally purchased tickets will be honored for those rescheduled dates. So I just thought I would bring this to you guys, just in case you were looking to go to any of those shows, whether that is in Winnipeg, Regina, Saskatoon, or Edmonton in early January, or actually late January. Those shows have been rescheduled. I don't know where WWE is now going to run instead. I don't know where WWE is going to run those. If they're not running in Canada that weekend, where are they going to run? That has not been yet announced as of last night when I last looked at this story, but we can just double check WWE's schedule on their website really fast to see if maybe they have done some updating. Go late January. Okay, so we do have a little update here. Actually, no, we have an update on that whole weekend. Okay, here we go. Here's some interesting stuff. So, January 21st, which was a SmackDown, was supposed to be in the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, will now be taking place from Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. The following night, which is supposed to be in Regina, will now be a Super Show in Corbin, Kentucky. The following night, which was supposed to be in Saskatoon on the 23rd, will now be a live event in Huntington, West Virginia. And the Monday Night Raw that was supposed to be in Edmonton will now be taking place from the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. WWE has put out where those events will now be taking place. And I don't think there was an actual reason given, at least not posted by Post Wrestling, as far as why these dates have been rescheduled. Next up, talk about a little bit of Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling's next pay-per-view will be Hard to Kill on January 8th, which is a Saturday, January 8th. And following last night's episode of Impact, it was announced by Executive Vice President Scott D'Amore that Moose will be defending his title in a triple threat match. The Impact World Championship will be on the line in a triple threat as Moose defends the title against both Matt Cardona and W. Morrissey. I think Hard to Kill is shaping up to be a pretty good card, in my opinion. I think it looks very, very good. Last night, Cardona and Eddie Edwards defeated Moose and Morrissey in the main event of the show. After the match, Morrissey savagely assaulted Moose, ending, I guess you could say, their little alliance that they've had going on. As far as other matches that we do know for the Hard to Kill pay-per-view, we do know that the Knockouts Championship will be on the line when Mickie James defends the title against Deonna Purrazzo, the woman that she took the title from. And for the first time ever, we will be getting a woman's, or should I say Knockouts Ultimate X match. Yep. First ever Knockouts Ultimate X match. And the competitors for that match are slated to be announced next week on Impact. So something to look forward to. Next week, they will announce who will be in the groundbreaking first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match. If you're unsure, what's Ultimate X? What is Ultimate X? Well, they got scaffolding around the ring. And they've got 2 ropes to make an X. Then, in the middle of that, an X hangs. You must climb the scaffolding, scour across the ropes above, and the first person to grab that X, or sometimes it's been a briefcase, sometimes it's been the X Division title. I don't know what it's going to be this time. Whatever you grab what's hanging, and you're the winner. So they're going to do it for the first time with females. The first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match. I've always thought Ultimate X matches were really cool. We've seen some very creative spots in Ultimate X matches over the last almost 20 years now. Let's see. When was the first Ultimate X match? It had to have been 2001, 2002. So yeah, it's been about 20 years. Ultimate X was an early staple of Impact Wrestling TNA. So for them to now do it with the women for the first time, that should be interesting. And I don't know who they put in this match. That's the big question. Who do they put in this match as far as, let's see, let's go to their roster really fast. Female roster, maybe Chelsea Green. Looking at the roster of females, maybe Jordan Grace, Kimber Lee, Sue Young, Brandy Lauren. And usually these matches are, I want to say, 4 to 6 competitors. So if we're going to build out our fantasy Knockouts Ultimate X lineup, Chelsea Green, Jordan Grace, who is the digital media champion right now, so she may be defending that title instead. I could be wrong. Mercedes Martinez, Tennille Dashwood. I'm going to go 6. Sue Young. And maybe they go 5. And if they don't do Jordan, because she's going to defend her digital media championship, throw in Rachel Ellering. Or maybe you could throw them both, Rachel and Jordan, and they work together. And then there's this thing at the end where they're both hanging from the top. And they're like, well, what do we do? We're friends. We're besties. Who grabs the thing? Who wins the match? And then they have to fight for it. So maybe you add both of them or only one of them, depending on if Jordan got to defend her title. But it would be interesting. Would be interesting. As we move forward, we have learned of a new departure in WWE as one of their security members has been let go. Longtime WWE employee Scott Aycock, I said that wrong. Scott Aycock is no longer with the company. So Aycock first started working for WWE as a tour bus driver in November of 2005. And then before that, he worked as law enforcement and so forth, but then became a security officer, a security consultant in an executive protection role backstage in December of 2005. He's been with the company for 16 years, and his LinkedIn bio notes that he worked domestic and international assignments for the company. According to the Wrestling Observer, they state that Aycock, I keep saying it wrong, Aycock was let go by the company, and no reason was actually given, but Aycock did address this on his LinkedIn, stating the following. I'm closing one huge chapter and starting another. This month of November is the end of my amazing career with World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, after 17 years. The memories will last forever, and the friendships will last in my heart for eternity. Some amazing, hardworking people that I have been blessed to get to know. May God bless you all. I will see you down the road. And then he put a folded hands emoji. So I don't know exactly what's going on here, whether Aycock wanted to leave or if he was actually let go, as the Wrestling Observer knows. Because again, the Wrestling Observer newsletter this week did state that Aycock was let go by the WWE, and there was no actual reason why. We actually also don't know when he last worked for WWE. He said that November was the end of his career with the company, but we don't know if that was, early November, or he finished off the month of November and December 1st he was done. We don't know any of that timeline, but he is gone from the WWE. And our final news story we do have for you has to do with the man, Becky Lynch, the current Raw Women's Champion, as she's touting a very cool career milestone. So, Becky Lynch, since WrestleMania 35, has basically been the women's champion. There was a brief, 5-minute period where she wasn't, when she made her entrance at SummerSlam this year, and then started the match and won the match and took the title from Bianca Belair. But regardless of that little hiccup where she had to re-win the belt, she's been the champ as of yesterday for 500 days, as Becky tweeted out the following, stating, I've been champion every active day I've been with WWE since WrestleMania 35. Today marks hashtag Becky 500, and that is so very cool. Won't be ending anytime soon either. So again, Becky Lynch has basically been a champion every day she's been with WWE and active on the roster since WrestleMania 35, which is 500 days. Now, it's not 500 days in a row. It ain't no 4 something like Bayley had in a row. No, but it's still a big milestone to say that I've been a champion for 500 days. That every day I've been at work, every day that I've been on the active roster, allowed to work and cleared, I've been the champion. Again, you can go into technicalities and say there was a 5-minute hiccup and all of that. But even at that, if you're just counting the days and not the minutes or the hours, she's still been a champion every single active day she's been around. So that's really cool to see. Becky 500. I don't know if 500 figures. 500. Becky 500. But as of today now, because this was yesterday, but as of today, Becky 501. Becky 501. Kevin Abreu says, doesn't count, she missed a year. But no. You're not listening to what she said. Every active day, she's not counting the 15 months that she was gone. She is not counting. We're not counting those 15 months. We are counting WrestleMania 35 to May, I want to say 11, 2020. WrestleMania 35 to May 11, 2020. There's a stretch. Then you freeze the record, and then you go from SummerSlam this year to now. That's what it is. Yes, it does count because we're not counting the time she was gone. If she was trying to count the time she was gone, then this would be bull crap. But she's not counting that time she was gone. So yes, this is legit. This is something that we can count. And finally, we do know that tonight is both Friday Night Smackdown and AEW Rampage. Both of these shows, well, one show is pre-taped and one show is not. And let's just quickly let you know what you can expect tonight on both of these shows. So, Smackdown. And let me check if anything's been announced since we've been live. I think only thing we know for SmackDown is Brock. I think that's the only thing we know for SmackDown tonight is Brock Lesnar. Yep. That's all that's been announced. Brock will be on tonight's SmackDown from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas. As far as Rampage does go, and here's a non-spoiler preview. Jade Cargill will be taking on Janai Kai with Thunder Rosa on commentary. FTR will be taking on the team of Pac and Penta El Zero M. Now, this is a change. It was supposed to be Pac and Phoenix in a 2 out of 3 falls match against FTR for the AEW tag titles, but Phoenix couldn't make it this week. They said he was injured. He's not really injured, and so they changed the matchup. Pac is good to go for tomorrow's AAA event, where FTR will be defending the AAA Tag Team Championships against the Lucha Brothers, and it was officially announced today, FTR will have Vicky Guerrero in their corner. So I don't know if maybe Alex Abrahantes is going to go with the Lucha Brothers or not, but Vicky will be in the corner of FTR tomorrow night at Triple Mania. And finally, the TNT title will be on the line tonight when Sammy Guevara defends against Tony Nese. Now, again, the show was filmed back on Wednesday, but I'm not going to give any spoilers because, hey, people don't like spoilers. Some people want to watch this show as new. So that is everything that we do know for tonight's SmackDown and everything we do know for tonight's AEW Rampage. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here for the Friday edition of the Wrestling Wrap-Up. Remember, let me know in the comments below if you like these Wrestling Wrap-Up videos, because the plan is to keep doing them every Monday and every Friday morning at roughly 11 a.m. Pacific time. They'll last anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. I want to maybe keep it right around the 45-minute mark, as we've hit 43 minutes or so right here. So with that, again, let me know if you do like these videos. You do like them every Monday, every Friday, just bringing you a bunch of news in one easy to watch video. And remember also, starting next Monday, Patreon subscribers and YouTube channel members will be getting an exclusive post show after every single episode. Every Monday show and every Friday show, you will get a post show if you are subscribed at the $5 tier and above. But with that, guys, remember, we will be live tonight, right back here for Friday Night Smackdown. I ain't talking about Rampage because I read the spoilers and the show didn't entice me that much. So with that, guys, we will be here for Smackdown tonight, whatever that looks like. All we know is Brock. So have a great night. Remember to follow us on social media, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us right here on YouTube, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, on Twitter @PW Unlimited, and on Twitch @PW Unlimited. So have a great rest of your Friday, guys, and I'll see you next time.